Alright guys, so Fulu coming to you with another video. Wow, bro. Um yeah. Woo! Woo woo wee. Damn. I just made a video about this like uh maybe a day ago or so. I made a video about this and yeah, bro. Oof, shit. Let me get into it though. The shooter, who is now deceased, I think the cops killed him. Salvador Ramos. There are news, and this is by no means an excuse for his actions at all. But there is like reports that we have coming out that this guy suffered bullying and his family didn't come from good circumstances, and also he I want to say he spoke in a certain way that was maybe that made people condescending to him. But I want to say that I found this article, and and the thing is, it says Salvador Ramos, they said he was seen as an emo, basically, and that he has speech problems, and also he was a victim of homosexual slurs because of the way he dressed. Now, the thing is since he was a I guess you can say like very much an outcast, he decided to confine himself into the shooting game Call of Duty, right? And so if you're constantly just playing that game all of the time, what's gonna happen when all you're doing is playing Call of Duty. Now, another thing that was brought to the forefront was the simple fact that Ramos worked at Wendy's, and also he was upset at the fact that he didn't graduate high school. I think that was the issue with him, was he was a little bit upset that he wasn't able to graduate high school. Now, he shot his grandmother, but the grandmother survived, right? But I want to bring something to the forefront of this, and it goes back to what I'm saying before. The neighbor by the name of Ruben Flores said that Ramos had a pretty tough life with his mom, because his mom tried to be a father figure to the teenager. He often argued with his mom, and then he moved into his grandmother's house. Now, I say this because of the simple fact that this person did not grow up around or have any male figures to kind of teach him how to be a man, and I don't know if that was by design or if it was by just circumstances, but it just goes to show you that you can't be around, a man cannot be around a woman in a group of women for a long period of time before he takes on those personality traits and those attitudes of a woman. You know what I mean? Because he also wore eyeliner as well. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is that it goes back to my point that when you have effeminate males and when you have emasculated males, they're going to lash out, okay? They will lash out. The same way that these masculine Western women are starting to lash out. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of modern Western women are very, very violent because they've taken on so much masculine energy, and they're frustrated that they don't know any other way to do it, so they lash out on others. You know, they lash out on other people and things like that. Like the one earlier with the Lyft driver, you know, she bit the Lyft driver in my previous commentary of that. So what I'm saying is that these women and the men who support these women, okay, because, you know, in certain ways it takes two to tango. So when you have men who actually support this and be like, oh, you know, like she's a strong single mom, you know what I mean, she's doing what she needs to do and things like that. When you have men who actually support this, it produces this, you know what I mean. And also when you have men who say that no matter what, that's your mother, you have to respect her and stuff like that. No, you don't. Especially when she's not upholding the law, and in my case, when she's not upholding the laws of Allah. You know what I mean? When she's inviting you to things that go against natural law and go against the ways of Nailatu alayhi salatu salam, you don't have to respect her. In fact, the most wisest thing you can do is get away from her. You know what I mean? And, you know, eventually God is gonna, like, you know, if you're sincere, God will set you right. Because I'm gonna tell you something, coming from my personal experience, like, yeah, my dad was harsh. You know, my dad said, no, you can't be crying around me. My dad was like, no, you can't be like showing any form of weakness around me. My dad he wasn't with that, you know, for better or for worse, because I think he predicted how bad the world was going to become. You know, so when I went to my mom, you know, she just kind of said, well, you know, what did your dad say? You know? And I know maybe it kind of turned me kind of like into, I'm sorry to say it, but it kind of turned me into a, how should I put it? Like, I make myself only emotionally available for people who deserve it, which are like very few. But I see why they did it. You know what I mean? Because obviously with this guy, he didn't have anything like that. He didn't have that kind of structure. He didn't have a man in the house who, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, they'll talk about toxic masculinity and things like that. But, you know, when they're saying toxic masculinity, what they're really saying is that they don't want you to be a man, you know. Also with this Salvador shooter, they said that, you know, because he was working at Wendy's, you know, he had like kind of like, you know, he would send inappropriate text messages to ladies. And the problem is, you know, because he came from a poor family and things like that, and this is very true, that like kids can be very cruel, like and it all starts in the home, and you know, it starts from their parents too. So, you know, he was bullied, made fun of because of his family's financial situation, you know. uh and so, that's the problem. That's the problem with the whole thing, is that you know it was just self-destruction waiting to happen. That's the thing. It was just a self-destruction that was on the verge of exploding, and it exploded. Now I can't, I don't know how to say this, but I think, like, if I had the opportunity to tell this person something, I would say, hey, bro, like, bro, try to find a lesson in, like, your struggle, bro. Don't go out like this. Like, try to find a lesson in how you're struggling, man, and try to find opportunity in your struggle. I would have, like, advised him, like, yo, maybe, bro, get yourself to a boxing gym. You know what I mean? Like, get yourself to, like, maybe some kind of horseback riding, or, bro, get yourself into maybe some kind of archery or something like that. Get yourself into something that can take your mind, like, off these things. And knowing me, and I can only speak for me. I can only speak from my perspective, because I would want a solution out of this. But what I would say is, hey, I would finance his activities, to avoid this greater evil. The lesser evil would be me to finance him to get into some boxing, or get into some, like, scuba diving or something like that. Hey, I'll do it. You know what I mean? So, and this goes into another big problem. How easy it was for him to purchase the guns. You know what I mean? It was hella easy for him to even purchase the weapons. And the problem is he had a list too. That's the problem. He had a list. Yeah. Yeah, so man. So how they say it starts at home? It really starts at home. It really does start at home, bro. Wallahi, it starts at home. And so, let this be a lesson, man. Let this be a lesson, a reminder to all of us, okay? Especially, I'm just gonna come out with a new term right now. Let this be a lesson to the African Sigma Gorilla monks to choose your women wisely, okay? Choose them wisely. And with that being said, let's unfortunately learn a harsh lesson from this. Fula signing out. Njada.